welcome to the Soap Dish, where we dish about the soaps. Today is Tuesday, April 29th, and we're going to be talking about General Hospital. Guys, I'm not feeling well. I know I have like what's it called? A Luton's, the sore throat lozenge thing in my mouth, so I probably sound a little funny too. It probably seems like I'm always sick. It feels like I'm always sick. My new career path involves kids, and my immune system does not like the little kids, unfortunately. I love the little kids. It's just, I don't know, the germs, bacteria. It's like all it takes is, and the next thing I know, I've been infected. Yeah, it sucks. Plus, I make homemade elderberry syrup that would prevent me from getting sick, but I haven't made any in a while. And I need to do that. I really need to do that. And it has ginger, a lot of anti-inflammatory things in it that, like, I think without it, my immune system is like, what the fuck. So yeah, so sorry for this, but thank you for bearing with me. I think today was a pretty decent episode. A nice entry into sweeps for General Hospital. We started with Anna flirting with Professor Dalton, and I ain't like it because I don't want to waste him on her. And I actually called him Professor Dalton instead of King Ashby, so good job, Nikisha. Like, I really like him, and I would feel like he was wasted on Anna. I would rather, no, I was gonna say I would rather Anna be with Jason than him, but that's a bit much. I might be delirious. But I was glad she turned him down. I don't blame her for flirting though. I'd have been flirting with his ass too. And Joss comes over after Anna leaves, telling him that she wants the research position. He was like, yeah, that probably won't happen. There's so many other, better, more qualified people. But, like, he recognizes that she's been sitting in the front of the class and she's engaged and she's trying, but he still, like, when he thinks of her, he thinks more about her being late than anything else. All right, we have Tracy and Gio. Emma has gotten there. Jason comes in. Gio wants Emma to help him try to talk Tracy out of taking Sonny's, voting against the peers, to take Sonny's peers. Not really invested in that story. But here we are. Let's see. Tracy thinks about Drew and is like, oh, I should work with the man who is my enemy. Tells Jason she should tell Gio about what happened with AJ. I don't think I put that in my notes, but when we come back to them, Jason does tell him the official story that AJ was choking Ava and Sonny had to shoot AJ to protect him. But we know there's more to the story. Like, AJ was mad because Ava had framed him for murder. Well, Ava didn't really frame him for murder, but Ava didn't speak up and was like, oh, AJ mean Ava Jerome, not AJ. I never forgive Connie. I'm like, in your dying moment, you gonna write this letters in your own blood to let everybody know who it is, and you gonna write AJ, and everybody's supposed to think it means Ava Jerome instead of AJ Quartermain. Like, if you can write AJ, you could write AVA. It's one more letter. She could have just one more letter. Ugh, sorry guys. All right, Marco and Lucas. I don't know what that note means. They're on a date. Sidwell and Lucy show up. I was confused about why Lucy would be flirting with Sidwell, like, annoyed that they fired Natalia, which they should have, I guess. But I don't know. I just don't understand. Why is Natalia more to blame than Sidwell? Unless it's just about because they need that zincite. I hope I never say the word zincite again, to be honest. Lucas is talking about growing up with Tony and Bobby, living in the brownstone. He didn't say brownstone, but he said he grew up with an extended family. And in my mind, it flashed back to the brownstone. You know, everybody used to live at the brownstone. That was a nice little moment of nostalgia for me, personally. Lucy, back to Lucy and Stilwell. Lucy was shocked that Natalia never mentioned she had a son all the time they worked together. And I wondered if Lucy told her about her daughter, Serena. Like, sometimes shit don't come up. Please know I'm not defending Natalia. I'm fucking with Natalia. It's just weird dialogue for me. We have Cody and Lulu. He's still walking around after being kicked by the horse. I don't know if he ever went back to the doctor. Cody tells Lulu, I didn't know you were a journalist. I said, me neither, Cody. Me neither. Because she barely a journalist. I'm more of a journalist than Lulu. I actually am. I actually was. That was a past life. But Cody helps her with a story and says, his life is definitely better knowing his bio dad is Mac. Sometimes it's hard for him to see him with James because it reminds him of what he missed out on. I said, don't feel too bad. Mac was everybody's daddy. Mac raised half of the kids in Port Charles. Curtis and Jordan, I don't like seeing them together because I want Jordan to be with anybody around anybody but Curtis. He agreed to let her be and then proceeded to not let her be. She said, maybe you should be worried. Instead of me being worried about me, you should be worried. Sidwell should be worried about me. She was talking big talk. Nina and Portia put their plan into effect. They give the hooker the drugs. Drew warns Portia to use Trina and the impact that Sonny's violence had on Trina to force Curtis to use Aurora to make Sonny look bad. They want a smear campaign. Tracy and Drew are together. Tracy decides to work with Drew and let him use the Quartermain name if he agrees if they partner up against Sonny. And I'm confused because we didn't ask Monica about that. How would Monica feel about that? Alright. Back to Portia and Nina's plan. Willow is a nurse, right? I know it's hard to remember, but Willow is a nurse. Willow has also been drugged by Shiloh before. So not only is she a nurse and seen people under the influence, but she's been under the influence. This might make Drew look bad to the public, but it's gonna make him more sympathetic to Willow because she's gonna figure out that he was drugged. Because he would never do that. It's so unlike him. Tracy had the nerve to tell Drew she's never felt like he earned the Quartermain name before, but now he did by agreeing to work against Sonny. That was ridiculous. I'll be watching the repeats on Roku TV. Excuse me. Drew was the real Drew. Billy Miller was a good man. He would have been an honorable Quartermain. But I know maybe he was too nice to be a Quartermain. Will Tracy be a suspect in all of this? She randomly calls Drew, wants to meet him out of the blue, had a drink with him, then dipped off right before he got into the hooker. Drew is a Marine. You telling me Drew the Marine can't figure out? He's just like, ooh, that was a strong drink. He can't figure out he been drugged. And then we see Drew and the hooker go to the Savoy doing body shots. I was like, ain't nobody got their phone out? But then, 2 seconds later, they had, one person that I saw with their phone out. It might have been more people. I was watching on YouTube, so I can never say that what I saw is all that they showed. Oh, that's all I got. All right, well, thank you, guys. I know this was a kind of day for me, but I appreciate anybody who watched anyway. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. I do look forward to seeing how these stories play out. Thank you guys so much for dishing about this soap with me. Live long and prosper.